Morning, Zaker.
Morning.
Right, I'm going to give you the briefing on a controlled stop.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you questions as well. So these questions you'll be able to use when it comes to you doing the briefing.
Yeah.
All right, with those pupils.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Controlled stop. Why is it called a controlled stop?
Because when you're stopping, you've actually got the car in control.
Yes, you're controlling the vehicle.
Yeah.
All right. Many years ago, probably when you was learning to drive, and definitely when I was learning to drive, it was called an emergency stop.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
What used to happen was that when people used to put their foot heavy on the foot brake,
Yeah.
the front wheels used to lock, didn't they?
They did. Yeah.
So that's what used to happen then, was that they used to go into a skid, a front wheel skid.
Yeah.
With it being a front wheel skid, they lost control of the steering, didn't they?
They did. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
They were tried to be taught cadence braking, which is on, off, pumping the brakes. Right? As you can imagine, people didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So clever people have created what's called ABS.
Right.
And what is ABS?
ABS is the one when you actually press the foot brake down, it sort of pumps the brakes itself automatically.
Yes.
So you don't have to pump the foot brake.
Yeah. Yeah. It reduces the chances of those front wheels
skidding.
locking.
Yeah.
It does reduce the chance, but it doesn't stop the chance completely.
Right.
It just reduces the chance.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So with the controlled stop, the idea is not to do that in the first instance. The idea is to be able to look around and to anticipate things happening, like children running across the road, balls rolling out in front of you.
Yeah.
If a ball rolls out in front of you, then you're expecting a child.
That's
Yeah?
right. Yeah.
The thing is, as well, is to make sure that we are planning. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So these things don't catch us by surprise.
Yeah.
However, we can't foresee the future for everything, so there are times when it may be done.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
The first thing that you would tell the learner driver is they will not check their mirrors. Alright?
Right.
Because if you check your mirrors, you know you're checking your centre and your right mirror, it's wasting time, isn't it?
That's right.
Yep, so if you're going to do this, try and have a fixed object that you can use as a reference. So if you're checking your mirrors now, you're travelling at 30 miles or 20 miles an hour around here.
Yeah.
By the time you've thought about getting to that break, you've gone to that driveway just there,
Yeah.
which is a fair old distance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say about 30 foot.
Yeah. About 30 foot.
Yeah. So that by the time you've checked them, then you would have hit that child, or that reason why you were wanting to do that stop in the first instance.
Right.
So tell them not to check your mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then you tell them how to do the braking.
Right.
Alright?
Yeah.
Braking is using your entire foot on that entire pedal. So it's the ball of your foot on that pedal, covering that entire pedal.
Right.
If they use the sides of the pedal, the
They
foot
can
can
slip.
slide off and it will hit the accelerator pedal. Right?
Right.
If they use the toes, again the foot could slide off and they have no braking.
Right.
Alright?
Okay.
It's not a stamp on the brake.
Right.
All it is progressive braking. So it's quickly and it's firm braking. You constantly push.
Yeah.
Push as far as you possibly can.
Right.
Alright?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Before they stop, obviously the clutch needs to go in. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's firm braking and then
And
the
then-
clutch goes in.
Right.
Alright?
Okay.
So remember, it's the brake before the clutch.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Steering wheel. Okay?
Yeah.
We need to hold the steering wheel quite firmly.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
So, as you can see, the steering wheel can move quite freely. Okay?
Yeah.
You grab the steering wheel and you try and move the steering wheel as well.
Yeah.
Go on, grab the steering wheel.
Yeah.
No, my steering wheel.
Oh, yours. Right. Okay.
Just one hand is all
Yeah.
needed. Just grab it just here.
Right.
Alright, and then just try and move it. So you're telling them that, you show them then that how quickly or how much it can move.
Right.
Alright?
Yeah.
So you need to hold the steering wheel quite firmly.
Yeah.
Now try
Then
and
it
move
won't
it.
move. Yeah.
See how it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's firm braking, firm grip of that steering wheel.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
Hands and everything stay on there until you are stopped.
Yeah.
So you're braking, clutch goes in,
Yeah.
and you have stopped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Handbrake goes on to secure the car.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Your feet still stay in those pedals.
Right.
Alright? because you're still in a gear, potentially third gear or whatever gear that you're in,
Yeah,
right? So you still need to stay in that gear
Right.
because we want to disengage the clutch and the engine, don't we?
Yeah.
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 Foot stays on the foot brake. Why do you think your foot stays on the foot brake?
So the car doesn't roll.
No, handbrake's already on, isn't it? Well, the
Because
handbrake will
the
be.
car's in gear.
Car is in gear, but what happens when you usually put your foot on the foot brake? What happens at the back of the car?
Oh, the brake lights
Yes.
actually come on, so people know that you're stopping.
Yes. So the brake lights are giving that information to those people that you have stopped. They
Right.
might not have seen the reason why you've stopped. They might not have seen the child, the
Yeah.
cat, the dog, or for whatever reasons you've decided to harsh brake in that
Right.
controlled manner.
Okay.
Okay. So foot stays on a foot brake, handbrake goes on.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now some will say put it into neutral, and some will say just put it into first gear.
Right.
Okay. Choice is entirely yours. What you would prefer them to do.
Right.
Right.
So, what is the difference? I mean, if you leave it into gear, what happens?
Well, if you go straight into that first gear,
Yeah.
you then get yourself ready to go, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you
Right.
put it into neutral, then you've got to put the clutch back down again. Put
Yeah.
it into that first gear.
Right.
All right. But what you also need to once you have stopped and everything and the car is secure, you need to get yourself going because you are sat in the middle of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it should be in gear then.
Should go into that first gear.
Right.
Okay. Then you find your bite as you would do normally, so you're preparing that vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do those checks
Right.
to make sure that you are safe. So it's starting all the way from that left,
Yeah.
all the way around to looking over your right shoulder, looking the blind spot. The reason you do those checks there is because you are potentially in the middle of the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then when you know that it's safe to go, foot off the foot brake, handbrake off, and off we go.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, not on control stop. No.
Right. You also need to be able to explain skidding.
Right. Well, if you brake really harshly, if you have the foot brake down too much, or if you're pressing it too hard,
Yeah.
then obviously the car will skid. If you don't, if you press it firmly, the car will not skid.
Yeah. Potentially, yes. Right. Skids. How do you do a skid? How did you do a skid? If you think back to when you was a child,
Yeah.
how did you do a skid on your push bike?
Actually, putting the brakes on really hard.
Yes, which is exactly the same thing as what used to happen before, wasn't it?
That was in the old days
That was in
without
old
the
days,
ABS
yes.
brakes. Yeah.
However, ABS doesn't stop skids full stop.
Right.
All right, you've got to think of road conditions,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
weather conditions,
Yeah.
tyre conditions.
Yeah.
Okay. If your tyres are getting to that minimum tread depth, and it's a wet day, if you still stamp on those brakes, those wheels are still going to skid. Those wheels are still going to lock, so you're still going to end up having that skid. However, because we have that ABS, it does reduce it,
Right.
doesn't it? Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
it's-
Because when you're actually driving a car in the rain, when it's raining, your car's not on the road. The water's between your car wheels
Yes.
on the road itself.
Yes. Yes.
So obviously, you know.
Yes, you are still going to have that skid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to explain skids. Okay.
Right,
Explain how the skid occurs and what to do if a skid does occur.
Right.
Right. So as you already correctly said, it's the fact that we have that water between the road
And the
and
wheels.
the tyre.
There are
Alright.
tyres. Yeah.
Water and rubber don't mix. Quite simple.
Yeah.
Water runs off rubber, which is
Yeah.
why it's rubber,
Right.
isn't it?
Yeah.
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 If you do get that front wheel skid,
Yeah.
then you have to tell them just to take your foot off the foot brake because you need to get that traction back on, because all a skid is losing traction, isn't it?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you've got everything locked.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
Rear wheel skids. If you get a rear wheel skid, what are you going to do?
You're gonna pull the handbrake.
No, you're not going to pull the
No.
handbrake. Just mind your own. If we have a rear wheel skid, okay? If you imagine this is your car, all right? You're travelling along. Let's say you're travelling on 50, 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Normally, what happens is the car is pretty even, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 When you do heavy braking, all the weight and all the inertia still goes forward, doesn't it?
To the front of the car.
To the front of the car. So if
Yeah.
you imagine that the front of the car is like this,
Yeah.
we've got the suspension,
Yeah.
it dips down, doesn't it? The back
does.
end will go light.
Yeah.
Alright, so if you get the rear wheel skid because the back end has gone light,
Yeah.
you need to then do something about it, don't you? So if your back end starts to go over to the left, which way do you think you're going to turn the steering wheels?
If it's going towards the left, you
Yes.
need to turn it towards the left.
Yes. So you bring your front end back in line with your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it starts to go over to the right,
Right.
you then turn the wheels to your right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're getting that front end back in line
Right.
with that back end.
Right.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That is basically got all the information that you need to pass
Right.
in relation to the controlled stop.
Right.
Okay? All I've done is that picture just there. Okay? So I mentioned no mirrors, firm braking, clutch goes in, firm grip, clutch gone in, handbrake on once you've secured the car, do those all round mirror checks before you set off.
Right.
Okay?
That's the emergency stop.
That is
yeah.
the controlled stop.
Control stop. Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
It's also good to mention about the skidding, which was what I've done. Okay?
Yeah.
I've not gone into too much detail and when all the cadence braking, all that sort of stuff, because you start to lose people, don't
Right.
you? Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can mention it.
Right.
Alright?
Okay.
Any questions?
Not so far. No.
No?
No questions.
Right.